Hey everyone. All right, so let me check the time. I think it's almost time. All right, we got 1 minute. All right, whoever's out there, how are you doing? If you want to say hi to me in the chat, that would be really cool. Also, if you have anything that you want to work on today or any questions you have, I would love to hear them. And that kind of helps me direct how I teach the class and what I teach. So any requests, questions, I want to hear them. Let me know. And if they come up throughout the class, you could also type it in throughout the class, and then I can check in during the class to see if any questions come up. So feel free to do that. It's my way of feeling like I'm teaching someone instead of just teaching nobody by seeing your questions come in, since I can't see you. All right, we're going to get started now. And normally I start with a seated meditation. Hi, Agustina. So happy you're here. Awesome. So normally I start with a guided meditation, but I want to try something different today. And I want to do the guided meditation at the end. It's very quick. It's like 5 to 8 minutes, but I want to try it at the end and see how that feels. Maybe it's a little bit different for you. All right. So I'm going to make my way to the mat, and you should too. If you have any props that you might want to use, you can grab those now too, like a bolster or some pillows or cushions to sit on might come in handy, or some blocks. I don't have anything, so I'll also offer some variations if you don't have props, which is totally fine. All right, okay. So we'll get started straight into Samasthiti. So Samasthiti is at the top of the mat, feet together, and it translates roughly to equal standing pose. So trying to come into an equal standing position with an equal amount of weight moving down through both feet. And we'll just take a moment here to turn the attention into the body. So into feeling the body, you can start by feeling into the bottom of the feet. So a very specific point in the body where the bottom of the feet are touching the mat. Sorry, my dad wanted to go out. So feeling into the bottom of the feet. And just feeling the weight move down to the bottom of the feet. So coming into that feeling of stability, of the weight moving down into the ground and connecting to the ground. Just notice if you can feel that feeling translate into a sensation of stability, of groundedness, of connection to the ground. Just simply by feeling the weight of the body move down through the feet. Then you want the big toes touching with the heels slightly apart. And then further stabilizing the position by engaging through the legs. So lifting through the kneecaps, and the quadricep muscles are on, they're active. This is really important for a lot of our postures, especially in the standing postures, to have a strong, steady, stable foundation. Engaging through the legs. And then with the pelvis, you want to tuck the tailbone under. So the lower back, imagine like the lower back is lengthening as the sit bones reach down towards the floor. Same action as the pubic bone lifting up. And notice how that helps you to orient towards the center line a little bit more clearly by tucking the tailbone under. And then also by tucking the tailbone under, you get a little bit more connected to your legs, a little bit more connected to the ground. So the pelvis helps us to connect the lower part of the body to the upper part of the body. So feeling that center part of the entire body connect us to the ground and connect us up towards the ceiling as you lengthen through the spine. So the spine is kind of floating and lifting out of the pelvis. And then you're reaching the crown of the head up towards the ceiling as you continue to allow the weight to move down to the feet. And then relaxing the shoulders away from the ears, bringing the ears over the shoulders. Good, a lot to think about for just standing. But establishing certain patterns here will allow us to more gracefully come into other postures. And you'll come into your breath. You can bring the palms to heart center. Start to feel the breath move in and out through the nostrils. So becoming aware of that inflow and outflow of the breath, the inhales and the exhales. And we'll start with an Om together. You can listen or you can join me. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale, bring the hands back to the side, gently open the eyes. And we'll start slowly with breaking up Surya Namaskar A. So just the first 3 movements of Surya Namaskar A. Inhaling the arms over your head, palms facing up to spiral the arms outwards. As the palms touch, gaze up towards the thumbs and reach up with the rib cage. Exhale, fold forward with a long spine as the hips move back, the chest moves forward. And then you can bring the hands down and relax the back, relax the neck, bend the knees here as much as you need to. Inhale into half lift. Reach the chest forward. The fingertips can stay on the floor and you just reach the chest forward and you're working towards a flat, straight spine. Again, the knees can be bent. Exhale, we're gonna fold forward again. Pull the lower belly in, relax the back, relax the neck. Inhale, come to stand. Straightening your legs as soon as it feels comfortable or having the legs straight the entire time. Exhale, Samastitihi. Good, we'll do that one more time. So if you have really tight hamstrings, know that you can keep the knees bent as long as you need to throughout that entire sequence. Inhale, arms over your head, pressing down to reach up, pull the lower belly in. Exhale, long spine, reaching forward with the chest. And then relax the back to fold forward, relax the neck. Inhale into half lift. Legs are strong. As you reach the chest forward, shoulders roll back away from the ears. Exhale, fold over the legs. Find your breath. Inhale, deep breath in. Come all the way up as the feet press down. The arms and the rib cage reach up. Exhale, slowly float the arms back down to the side as the spine grows tall and the crown of the head reaches up towards the ceiling. Inhale, pressing down through the feet. One more time. Exhale, fold forward, keep the lower belly pulled in gently, and then relax over the legs. Inhale into half lift. Deep breath in, legs are strong, pressing down through the feet, reaching to the crown of the head. Exhale, fold forward, long spine, and then rounding slightly by relaxing the back muscles. Inhale to come up. Deep breath in, press down to reach up, tucking the tailbone under, connecting to the legs. Exhale, slowly float the arms down as you reach the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. Okay, now we're gonna finish and do the entire Surya Namaskar A sequence. Inhale, arms over your head. Moving with the breath. Exhale as you fold forward, relaxing over the legs. Inhale into half lift. Strong legs. Reach the chest forward. Exhale. You're going to bend the knees here a lot. Palms are flat. We'll take this first one step by step. You find your plank position. Shoulders over the wrist, tucking the tailbone under and pulling the lower belly in. Make sure the shoulders are moving away from the ears. Now you can lower the knees if you need to modify. Take a deep breath in here. Exhale, bend the elbows and keep the elbows close to the ribs as you reach the chest down towards the floor. Okay, inhale into a half upward facing dog or cobra pose as you press the tops of the feet down and reach the chest forward. Exhale, or you can do upward facing dog into tabletop. Tuck the toes under and make your way into downward facing dog. Good. So if you're familiar with the sequence, then use this as an opportunity to just move really slowly and start to become aware of the more subtle aspects of this sequence. There's so much to learn here, so much to discover. So if you've been doing this a lot, then just use the slowing down as an opportunity to find something new. Good. We'll take another breath in here through the nose and exhale slowly through the nose, pressing into the palms, reaching the hips up and back. On your next inhale, you're going to shift the gaze forward and bring the weight into the tops of the hands. So you start to walk the feet forward, feet together as close as you can in between the hands. Doesn't have to be all the way. Into the half lift, reaching the chest forward. Exhale, fold over the legs, keep pulling in the lower belly, relaxing the back, relaxing the neck. Inhale, come to stand, press down through the feet as you reach up. Exhale, Samasthiti. Equal standing pose. All right, we're going to do that one more time. Yeah, maybe two more times. Let's see. Inhale, arms over your head. Press down to reach up. Exhale, fold forward with a long spine, chest forward, and then relax over the legs. Inhale into half lift, lengthening. Remember, bend the knees if you need to. Exhale, step back into a plank. Strong plank. Lower the knees to modify. And then as you exhale, bend the elbows slowly. Add that resistance. Inhale into upward facing dog. Halfway, or you can straighten the arms and lift the chest up. Exhale into downward facing dog. Transitioning, if you need a modification, lower the knees, tuck the toes, and lift the hips. Find your breath, relaxing the neck. 2, following the breath in and out through the nose. 3, deep breaths. 4, legs are strong. You're pressing down through the heels. If they don't touch the floor, that's okay. You can also bend the knees here if you need to. One more breath. Steady, long breath through the nose. On your next inhale, gazing forward, shifting forward, and come into the half lift position. Take as many steps as you need to. Lengthening. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, arms over your head, palms touch, gazing up. Exhale into Samasthiti. Good. All right, let's do Surya Namaskar B. Inhale, we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to add some postures. Bend the knees, so you're like close to 90 degrees. So we're really going to wake up the quads. Arms over your head, gazing up. If this creates too much strain in the neck, separate the arms. Exhale, fold forward. This part, long spine, hands to the mat, relaxing. Legs are strong. Inhale into half lift. Keep legs strong, pressing down through the base of the big toe. Exhale, step back into a plank. Find a strong plank, shoulders over the wrist. Lower the knees if you need to. Pull the lower belly in. Exhale as you bend the elbows. You can stop at 90 degrees with the elbows. A little bit harder. Inhale, upward facing dog. Press the shoulders away from the ears. If you can, lift the thighs. Exhale into downward facing dog. Okay, now we're going to add a couple postures. Inhale, bring the right foot forward as close as you can in between the hands. So wherever it lands. Lower the back heel to 45 degrees. Find your foundation. So the right knee is over the right ankle. The outside edge of the left foot is pressing down and the left leg is super strong. Pull your lower belly and take a deep breath in. And exhale, settle into your foundation. On your next inhale, you're going to lift the chest, arms over your head together or separated, and bend into the right knee, and square the shoulders forward. Exhale, come down, find your breath. Inhale, step back into a plank, and Chaturanga Dandasana, bend the elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog. Legs are strong. Let the hips sink down into the mat. Exhale into downward facing dog. Catch your breath. Inhale. Bring the left foot forward as close as you can in between the hands. Check in with your foundation. Left knee is over the left ankle. Pressing down to the base of the left big toe and through the outside edge of the right foot. Pull the lower belly and take a deep breath in. Exhale, settle into your foundation, legs are strong. Inhale, as you come up, keep the lower belly pulled in, bend into the left knee, arms over your head, square the shoulders over the left leg. Exhale, come back down, find your plank, deep breath in. Exhale, chaturanga. So if you don't want to lower the knees, you keep them lifted. Inhale, upward facing dog. Sink the hips down, lift the chest up, press the shoulders down. Exhale into downward facing dog. If you need a little bit of a break here, you have a couple options. So you can either be in child's pose, or you can be in like a half downward dog, where the knees are on the floor, and you're just sinking the chest towards the floor, relaxing the neck. Find the breath. 2, 3, spreading the fingers wide, pressing down to the base of the pointer finger. 4, gently hollowing out through the lower belly. 5. Okay, making your way back to the top of the mat into half lift. Look up and lengthen through the spine. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, come back into that chair pose, bend the knees, lift the chest, palms touch. Exhale, Samasthiti. Good. All right, how are we doing? I'm like a little bit tired from doing that one Surya Namaskar. I don't know if it was hot, but so we're going to move on, because if I'm tired, I'm assuming you guys are tired too. Padangusthasana. Bring the feet hip width distance apart. So I'll turn this way so you can see. Feet hip width distance apart. Inhale. And exhale as you fold forward, shift the hips back, reach the chest forward, and find that limit of flexibility in the hamstrings. As soon as you need to bend the knees, you can bend the knees. And as soon as you need to come into a rounded back, relaxing the back muscles, so you can reach down and catch the big toes with your peace fingers, your pointer finger and your middle finger, wrap around the big toes. Inhale, lengthen through the spine like a half lift from Surya Namaskar A. Exhale, fold forward over the legs. Find your breath. 1, 2, the knees can be bent, but if the legs are straight, make sure your legs are strong. Pressing down to the base of the big toes, lifting the kneecaps. 4, gently pulling in the lower belly. 5, inhale, look up and lengthen. Exhale there. Now we're going to come to Padahastasana. You're going to slide the hands underneath the feet. Bend the knees as much as you need to so that the entire back of the hand is underneath the feet. Inhale, find the length through the spine first, and then exhale, fold over the legs by relaxing all the muscles along the spine. 1, 2, following the breath, moving in and out through the nose. 3, 4, 5. Inhale, look up and lengthen through the spine. Exhale there. Inhale, come all the way up to the top, standing, feet together into Samasthiti. Okay, now we're going to move into Uttita Trikonasana. Inhale, step the right foot back, right toes spin out to face the back of your mat, and the left toe is in at 45 degrees. The distance between your 2 feet is like the length of one leg. So you're in an equilateral triangle. Inhale, bring the arms out to the side, and then you're going to reach forward over to the right leg. So you're stretching all along the right side of the right torso. Exhale, you're going to bring the right hand down to the right leg and slide it down, finding your limit. So either on the shin, onto the ankle, or you can catch the right big toe. If you have a block, you can put the hand on the block. And then reaching up with the left fingers to lengthen between both hands, and you're pressing down through both legs. So that strong, stable foundation, like we established in Samasthiti, pressing down through the base of the right big toe and through the outside edge of the left foot. Engaging the quadriceps and pulling the lower belly in. Let's just take one more breath here. And fully exhaling through the nose. Inhale to come all the way up. Good. All right, other side, turn the right toes in and turn the left toes out. Take a deep breath in as you reach forward with the left hand, creating space through the spine. Exhale, left hand comes down, right hand reaches up. You can gaze up towards the right fingers. If that's too much strain on the neck, gaze forward. Find the breath. Your legs are really strong so that you have such a stable foundation that you feel like your spine can sort of just float freely out from the pelvis. Good. Find your breath, steady breathing, one more. And fully exhaling. Inhale to come all the way up. Okay, it's coming to Trikonasana B, the revolved twisting version of triangle. Turn the left toes in, right toes pointing forward. So spend a little bit of time setting up here because it's a little bit more complicated. You want to square the hips towards the back of the mat and square the shoulders towards the back of the mat. So you're facing the back of the mat. If you find like this is a really hard position to come into, bring that left foot and move it out to the side a little bit. So there's a space between your two heels. And really turn your left toes forward, facing the back of the mat. Inhale. Again, you're going to reach forward, find that space, and then exhale. You're going to bring the hand down with a couple options. Left hand comes either to the outside of the right foot, onto the right foot, or the inside of the right foot. And they're going to press down with the left hand. It can be fingertips touching. You can also put the hand on the block here. And then reach the right arm up towards the ceiling, spinning the chest up towards the ceiling as you reach the chest forward. So you're finding length and rotation through the spine. Find your breath. Pull the lower belly in. Again, if it's too much strain in the neck to look up, look out to the side. Take one more breath here. Press down and reach up. Strong legs. Fully exhaling. And inhale to come all the way up. Good. All right. Other side. That's a really hard one. So if you fall out, totally okay. We're in the process of finding our center line and our balance. Face the front of this mat. Square the hips. Square the shoulders. If you need to move that right foot out to the side, go ahead and do that. Take a deep breath in. Reach the right arm forward. Find that length through the spine. And then exhale. Bring the right hand down. Outside, on the foot, inside. Press down to reach up. You're twisting the spine. 1. Stay with the breath, steady breathing. 2, pressing down through the feet, lengthening through the spine. 4. 5, deep breath in. And fully exhaling. Inhale, strong legs to come all the way up with control. Exhale into Samasthiti. Good. Inhale, you're going to step the right foot back, feet parallel to each other. Just do 2 postures here. Bring your hands to your hips. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, fold forward. Shift the hips back as you reach the chest forward. Bend the knees whenever you need to. And then bring the hands to the floor. Inhale, keep reaching forward with the chest. Exhale, fold forward, crown of the head moving towards the mat. If you can't quite touch the mat, you can separate the feet a little bit, or you can bend the knees a little bit. If your palms are flat, you can start to move them back to make sure the entire back and neck is relaxed. Take 2 more breaths here. Legs are strong. Pressing down to the base of the pointer finger, pulling the lower belly in. On your next inhale, straighten the arms and reach the chest forward. Exhaling here. Inhale, come all the way up. Hands to your hips. Exhaling at the top. Inhale, reach the arms out to the side. So imagine like your shoulder blades are widening away from each other. Exhale, interlace the fingers behind the back. Inhale, try to straighten the arms. Exhale, we're going to fold forward. We're going to stretch the shoulders a little bit. So you're going to move the hands as much as you can away from the hips. Again, bend the knees if you need to. Relax the neck. Start to bring those hands towards the floor. Good. See how much relaxation and softening can you bring to the shoulders and to the neck. 2 more breaths. Pulling in the lower belly, relaxing, releasing through the spine. On your last exhale, fully exhaling. Inhale, slowly come up with the strength of the legs. Release the hands. Exhale into Samasthiti. Good. All right, let's just do one balancing posture, and then we'll make our way down to the floor. Okay. Let's do tree pose or Ardha Baddha Padmasana. So if you want to come into tree pose, you're going to come to the ball of the right foot and then turn the right knee towards the side. So this is your most accessible version of tree pose, palms to heart center, where the heel is up against the left ankle. You can move the foot up to the calf, or you can move the foot up above the knee to the inside of the thigh. And you're pressing the foot into the thigh and the thigh into the foot, finding your center line through that opposition of energy, and then bringing the palms together. Or if you want to come into the lotus version, which is a deeper external rotation, you can bring the right foot up towards the left hip crease and just catch the foot like this. And allow the knee to fall towards the floor as much as it naturally falls towards the floor. So don't force it. And then if you want, you can wrap the arm behind the back and grab onto the inside of the left elbow, or just leave the arm behind your back like this. Good. If you want to fold forward and you know how to do that, you can fold forward. Or you can just stay standing. If you're standing, really pressing down to the base of the big toe as you reach up to the crown of the head. So finding that movement of energy through the opposite directions. And then through that, finding the center line and finding balance. Pull the lower belly in, relax the shoulders, and come into the breath. Steady inhales and exhales. If you fold it forward, you can start to make your way back up slowly with control, finding a drishti point, something to gaze on that's not moving. And then exhale, releasing. Good. You need to shake out that standing leg. Okay, other side, shift the weight into the right foot. So notice right away how your center of gravity is shifting in order to find balance on one leg. Come into the external rotation in the left hip by pointing the left knee out to the side, staying with the ball of the foot on the floor, or you can move the foot up the leg. If you're on the inside of the thigh, pressing the foot into the thigh and the thigh into the foot, bringing the palms together, pulling the lower belly in. Go into the version that works for you today. If you feel like your balance is totally off, then maybe you take a simpler version and just focus on being present in the balance of the posture. By coming into the body, feeling into the ball of the big toe, press down, and the crown of the head, reach up, finding your drishti point, something that's not moving to gaze on. I'm going to show you the other version. And coming into the breath, those long, steady inhales and exhales through the nose. If you fold it forward, start to make your way back up. Good. Take one more breath. And then exhale, slowly releasing the leg. Good. Come to the top of the mat, Samasthiti. We're going to make our way down to the floor through Surya Namaskara A. Inhale, bring the arms over your head. Exhale, fold forward, long spine. Relax the back. Inhale into half lift. Exhale, step back into a plank. Strong legs, pull the lower belly in, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Sink the hips down, lift the chest up. Reach the chest forward. Exhale into downward facing dog. Now we're going to come through to seated. So you can lower the knees if you don't know how to jump through. Cross the shins. And then sink the hips back behind your feet and send the legs through. So we're going to come into Dandasana position with the legs straight and the shoulders over the hips. If this is really hard for you to access, then slide something underneath your hips like a pillow or a blanket, just to elevate the hips a little bit, and that'll help you find the rotation in the pelvis to find this shape. Legs are strong, feet are flexed, pulling in the lower belly, and then lifting up through the center of the chest. You're gonna roll the shoulders back and down, away from the ears, and then bring the hands next to the hips, maybe a little bit behind the hips, to help you reach that chest forward. And then drop the chin down. We'll take 3 deep breaths here. 3. Feel the sit bones sinking down. 4. Pressing down through the heels, strong legs. 5. Release that. We'll come into Paschimottanasana, which is a forward fold. Inhale, catch the big toes. If that's too far for you, just catch the outsides of the legs. Take a deep breath in. So first, finding the length through the spine, reaching the chest forward, and then exhale, coming into the forward fold by relaxing the back and relaxing the neck. 1, keeping the legs strong. 2, the heels pressing down. Pulling in the lower belly. 3. Keep reaching forward with the chest, and don't let the clavicle bones, the top of the chest, collapse. Keep the shoulders moving back and the center of the chest reaching forward, even though you're slightly rounding the back. You still want to maintain a reaching forward and a lengthening through the center of the chest. Inhale, look up and lengthen. Exhale there. You can come out of it, and we'll come into reverse plank position, Purvottanasana. I'll show you 2 versions. Both versions, you're going to slide the hands behind the hips, fingertips facing forward. And you can either keep the legs straight, or you can bend the knees hip width distance apart with the feet and plant the feet in front of the hips. So you're coming into reverse plank or reverse tabletop. Inhale, lift the hips up, legs are straight or knees are bent, and gently relax the neck back. If it's too much strain on the neck, then you can tuck the chin. 1, keep lifting the hips. 2, 3, don't come down. I know it's hard, but keep lifting through the hips. 4, and 5. Exhale, bring the hips down. Good. All right, now we're going to do a vinyasa. But before we go into the vinyasa, I want to do a little bit of a drill to help us find a little bit more strength through the core and the upper body. That's going to help us with these jump back and jump through positions. You're going to cross the shins and bring the hands in front of the hips. Inhale, you're going to shift the weight forward into the hands. Press the hands down and lift the hips. 1, just 3 breaths. 2, 3, exhale, come down. Good. So you're shifting the weight forward into the hands, pitching the shoulders forward, and then pressing down to lift the hips. 2, lift up. 3, exhale, come down. Okay, now we're going to try to lift up. This is hard, so if it doesn't happen, it's okay. Just see what's possible. Now we're going to lift up, and we're going to try to move our feet, crawl our feet back behind the hands. So you can watch me and then you can try. Inhale, lift the hips, walk, walk, walk the feet. They pass the hands, and then from here you step back into a plank. Good. So you try it now. I'll meet you in plank. If you're already in plank, good opportunity to hold plank. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Now we're going to reverse that to jump through. So you're going to bring 1 foot forward, top of the foot on the floor, the other foot forward, top of the foot, knees in between the arms, and then lower the hips and send the legs through. Or you can just do what I showed before of sinking the knees down. All right, let's come into Baddha Konasana. So I was going to do Janu Shirshasana, but Baddha Konasana is like doing Janu Shirshasana on both sides at the same time. So it's like a time thing. All right, so bring the bottom of the feet together and bring them as close as you can, the feet as close as you can into the body. And then allow the knees to fall towards the floor as much as it's comfortable. So you might need some help here if you have really tight hips. So some options is you can prop the knees up with something, or you can just have the knees up if there's not too much pressure on the knee. If you feel a lot of pressure in the knee, then propping them up with something is really helpful. Or you could also sit on something, so elevate the hips with a blanket or a pillow. All right, catching the feet, take a deep breath in. And if this isn't as stretching for you, stay here for the 5 breaths, or you can start to fold forward, reaching the chest forward and keeping the elbows in towards the ribs. 1, relaxing all of the muscles around the hips and around the lower back. 2, relax the neck. 3, 4, 5. Inhale, slowly come up. Good. All right. If you have really tight hips, then maybe try for just like one activity where you're sitting, try sitting on the floor instead. So instead of sitting in a chair, sit on the floor. Maybe it's just for one meal a day, try sitting on the floor and eating your meal. Just doing that will help to open the hips and like having the body figure out what it needs to do and what it needs to open to be comfortable sitting on the floor. Okay. All right, let's do that jump back that I showed you. So you're going to cross the shins, bring the hands in front of the hips, shift the weight forward. Inhale, lift up and start to crawl the feet in between the arms. And then exhale, step back into a plank. Find your plank, take a deep breath in, lower the knees if you need to. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Okay, inhale, jump through to seated. And since I'm kind of on that core tip, we're gonna do some core. I'm gonna check the time. All right, Navasana. So you're gonna catch the knees, and first just bring the chest as close as you can to the thighs, and the feet can be flat on the floor. Okay, now from here, you're gonna shift back a little bit with the torso, and lift the chest up towards the ceiling. Relax the shoulders. Pull the lower belly in. We'll hold it here for 5 breaths. 1, try to bring the knees as close as you can together. 2, and maybe grab the backs of the thighs. 3, stay with the breath. 4, softening where possible. 5, and take a break. Cross the shins and come back. Okay, we're gonna do that again. Couple more times, and each time I'm going to show you a more advanced version. Feel free to stop at the version that works for you, that challenges you the right amount. All right, come back to this position, catching the backs of the thighs, lifting the chest. Now, if you want, you can lift the feet. 1, keep the knees together. 2, pulling the lower belly in and lifting to the center of the chest. 3, breath is steady, mind is calm. 4, 5, and come down, take a break. Or you can do that lift up if you're familiar with the sequence. Again, come back. 1, lift the feet. Now try letting go of the hands. 2, pull the lower belly in. 3, lift the chest. 4, 5, and come down. Okay, we're gonna do it one more time. Remember, stop at whatever version is challenging you the right amount. 1, be honest with yourself though. 2, straighten the legs maybe. 3, steady, deep breath. 4, hold it, hold it. Okay, 5, release that. All right, take a vinyasa, give it a try what I showed you, hands in front, inhale, lift up, crawl the feet back. So you have to keep the knees really close to the chest. So you're small enough to make it through the hole. Inhale into plank. Exhale, chaturanga. All right, come all the way down in chaturanga dandasana. We'll take a break here in Sphinx position. So reach the hands forward and the elbows underneath the shoulders. So just to kind of stretch the front body. When we do core work like that, the front body tends to get really tight and strong, which is good. but we need to balance it out with some stretching through the front body as well. So if this is too much compression with the lower back, we can move the elbows forward. That takes off some compression. This is really good for like when you have lower back pain. So if, for example, you've been sitting in a chair all day, which a lot of us are doing, then you can just like take this position for as long as you need to, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. It can also just be 1 minute and it'll be helpful. Good. And when you're here, first we'll make it a really relaxed and passive posture. So legs are relaxed, glutes are relaxed. You can even drop the head down. Good. Let's take 5 more breaths here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Now let's make it a little bit more active. Press the tops of the feet on the floor. Lift the kneecaps so the legs are super strong. And then you're going to pull the lower belly in and lift the center of the chest and reach the rib cage forward. You can sort of use your elbows to help you like feel like you're dragging the chest forward. So the elbows move back and the chest moves forward. And see if that helps you create a little bit more space through the spine and through the front body. So you feel like you're moving your rib cage away from the hips, strong legs, and exhale, relax. Let's do that one more time. So really feeling this difference between the relaxed, passive version of Sphinx and the active, engaged version of Sphinx. So relaxing, 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 and then slowly engaging, starting with the tops of the feet, pressing down, strong legs, and lift, reach the chest forward and up. 1, pull the lower belly in, press the shoulders down. 2, 3, reaching, reaching, reaching. 4, ribcage away from the hips. 5, exhale, release. All right, replace your elbows with your hands. Inhale into upward facing dog. Exhale into downward facing dog. Good. All right, bring the knees down to the floor. We'll just do one final, actually, second to last posture that we'll do is we'll start to work on headstand a little bit. Okay. So if you're not familiar with headstand or you're just scared to go all the way up, totally fine. You stop with the preparation of headstand. And if you need a wall, feel free to go by a wall just to make you feel a little bit safer. So you're gonna interlace the fingers. So first I'm gonna show you what it's gonna look like. You're gonna interlace the fingers, so maybe it's better like this. And you're gonna open the palms, bring the palms to the back of the head, and bring the elbows in. So if you wanna do that, this is what headstand looks like, except you're upside down. So your palms are gently squeezing the back of your head and the elbows are moving in. So this is important. You don't want the elbows to move out any more than this. Elbows are in line with the shoulders. If you go out, then you lose your foundation, therefore you lose your stability, and then you can hurt your neck. You want the elbows in, okay? And you want the top of the head on the mat. So if you want, put your head on the top of the mat, put your hands on the top of your head and then push down. And just feel how that feels a lot more stable and secure for the neck than maybe having the pressure on the top of the head or on the back of the head. You kind of have to compensate with like engaging a certain part of the neck, and that creates a lot of imbalance and pressure into the neck. So pressing down to the top of the head, all right? Okay. So you're gonna place that arrangement with the hands onto the floor, interlace the fingers, open the palms, press the elbows down. Okay, from here, we're not gonna put our head down yet. You're gonna tuck the toes and see if you can lift the hips up. This might be where you stop. You hold it here as long as you can and take breaks when you need to. So if you can go further, you start to walk the feet towards your hands, relax the neck, and bring the top of the head towards the floor. Good. And if you have the top of the head on the floor, press down through the elbows and move the shoulders away from the ears. And then gently press the wrist down also. Elbows down, wrist down, shoulders away from the ears. You want a solid foundation before you go any further. If you feel good here, you can tuck and bend one knee, foot towards your glute, and then maybe shift the hips over the shoulders to bring the other foot up. Good. Once you're here and you find your center, you start to move the knees away from the hips, from the chest, and then straighten the legs. So find your headstands. I'll go through that process one more time. If you found your place in headstand, hold it there, 5 to 10 breaths, and then you can make your way down. If not, stay with me. Interlace the fingers, elbows shoulder width apart, tuck the toes, and start to straighten the legs. Good. This might be where you stop. If you feel like you can go further, walk the feet forward and bring the head down to the floor. Hands are moving around the back of the head. Good. Start to walk the feet closer to you. What that's doing is bringing the hips over the shoulders. Good. See if you can balance on the forearms. Coming into the tuck, hips over the shoulders, and then moving the knees away from the chest and finding the straight line. Wherever you are, 5 more breaths. 1. Maybe try again if you fell out. 2. Or just holding the preparation for it. 3. Even if you're not in a headstand, you can still be working on headstands by working those foundational pieces. 1 more breath. Strong legs if you're up. And then exhale, slowly come down into child's pose. Good. Let's take a couple breaths here. Relaxing. And we'll come to a comfortable seated position. Good. Let me know how that goes. Maybe you can let me know at the end of class. I would love to know. All right. Come to a comfortable seated position. If you're familiar with a full lotus position, you can go ahead and take full lotus. You wrap the arms behind the back, grab onto opposite elbows or opposite forearms. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, fold forward, relaxing the back, relaxing the neck. And you want the head to be rested on something. So if your head doesn't reach the floor, then you can grab a block or something to rest the head on. If you don't have anything, it's fine. It's okay, you'll be okay. And then come into the breath and start using this as an opportunity to really turn the attention inward and focus on the breath as it moves in and out through the nostrils. And as you slowly lengthen and deepen the breath, controlling the inflow and the outflow through the nostrils. 5 more breaths. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Inhale, come all the way up. Feel your sit bones come to the mat. Release the arms. Good. If this is really uncomfortable for you to sit like this for a little bit, then elevate your hips with something, sit on a block, on a bolster, on a blanket, whatever you got. You're going to bring the wrist to the knees and the pointer towards the thumb. The arms are straight, lengthening through the spine, bringing the shoulders over the hips and tucking the chin down. 1. Long breath in and long breath out. 2. Following the entire pathway of the breath, all the way through the inhale and all the way through the exhale. 3. 4. The mind wanders, gently bringing the attention back into the breath to that single point of the breath moving in and out through the nostrils. Observing the direction of the breath, the pathway of the breath. 6. 'Maybe coming into that space in between the inhales and the exhales. So noticing that transition space, when the inhale becomes the exhale, and the exhale becomes the inhale. It's a momentary pause almost in the breath. Maybe noticing that pause, that transition. Take one more focused breath in. And long breath out. And you can relax the hands and just bring the palms down to the knees or into the lap. If you need to rearrange your position to get a little bit more comfortable, go ahead and do that. And then settle into the seated position, finding stillness. And then just finding the breath as it moves in and out through the nostrils. You can close the eyes. Or if you don't want to close the eyes, you could also just have a point somewhere on the floor that you gaze on. And then let go of controlling the breath and just allow the breath to be natural. As you watch the breath move in and out through the nostrils. Just observing the breath, maybe observing the sensations, so feeling the breath as it touches the insides of the nostrils. So actually feeling the breath touch the insides of the nostrils. Noticing the temperature of the breath. Maybe you feel it on the insides of the nostrils or at the tip of the nose. Maybe even on the upper lip. The space between the nose and the upper lip. So focusing in on a very specific point in the body, bringing your attention there, and how the breath is affecting that part of the body. The mind wanders, just noticing that it wandered, and then bring it back to that point, strengthening the pathway of coming back to focus, back to one pointed concentration. If you feel the urge to move, try to resist it and try not to move instead. And see if you can just observe that urge to move. Where is it coming from? Can you bypass the urge and not move instead, or fidget and instead just observe? And without judging anything, nothing is good or bad. Observing whatever comes up in the body, if it's really calling your attention. And then gently coming back to the breath in and out through the nostrils. You can stay here, or you can make your way to Shavasana, so lying down on the back for a final resting pose. Keeping with the same objective of observing the breath move in and out through the nostrils. And then if anything in the body pops up that's really calling your attention, focus on it for a little bit, observe it. And then once that has settled a little bit, bring the attention back into the breath. Always coming back to that single point that we choose as our object of meditation. Feeling the inflow and the outflow of the breath. Making your way to Shavasana whenever you choose. Coming back to the breath. The natural breath, spontaneously moving in and out through the nostrils. If you're lying in Shavasana, slowly start to wake up the body and deepening the breath. And taking your time here, making really small movements at first with the fingers and the toes. You start to bend the knees and bring the knees into the chest. Hug the knees in. Good. And bringing the knees over to either side, right side or left side, coming over to the side. You can rest the head on the arm, straighten the arm out to the side. And then slowly make your way back up to seated. If you're already in seated, perfect. Closing the eyes and just taking one final moment here to settle into the body, into the stillness. Settle here. And observe the residue of the practice in the body and in the mind. Observing what's left from the practice. And if you'd like, you can set an intention here. Something for your day. And we'll bring the palms to heart center. Finishing with an Om together, taking a deep breath in. Thank you. Thanks so much for being here and practicing with me. I'm going to come up to the screen. Thanks for everybody who showed up. I appreciate you being here. I have these classes every Sunday at 10 a.m. So feel free to join me whenever you'd like. Again, let me know if you have any questions that came up during practice. Thank you, Allison, or anything that you'd like me to cover for next week's class. I would love to know that. If you want to send me payment or a donation to the class, totally optional. But if you're willing and able, I would really appreciate it. I have some payment details in the description of the class. Love to headstand. Cool. It's a new prop that I just learned, and I really like it too. I think it sets up Allison said she loved the headstand prop. I think it really sets up the right foundation for headstand, for strong shoulders and healthy neck. Thank you, Agustina. So nice to have you here. Thank you, Sophie. My core was fire. Lately, I've been really into like core stuff. I think it's like helps so many other things. So strengthening our core, super fun. So tomorrow at 6. Yes, I'll see you tomorrow at 6. So Agustina, thanks for bringing that up. I'm teaching Mysore classes on Zoom Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 6 to 8 p.m. So if you want to join me for some Mysore style, if you're not familiar with Mysore style, it's an amazing style of practicing Ashtanga Yoga. I can talk to you more about it. Just reach out. I have some contact details in the description. And yes, I do have PayPal, Agustina. It should be in the description of this email. If it's, of this class. If it's not, then I'll send it to you through Instagram. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you have any other questions, let me know. I have classes on Zoom. Like I said, Mysore. I also have a beginner guided class on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5:30. And Zoom is really cool because then I have the opportunity to see you, so I can give you some more specific instructions based on what you need. This class is more of, I'm trying to kind of cater to a little bit more of a general audience. So if you want eyes on you to just get a little bit more direction, then Zoom is proven to be a really good medium for that. So we're not in person, but Zoom is the next best thing. Yeah, and I get to connect with more people from different places than just Miami, which is really cool. All right, I'm going to sign off. Hopefully you know where to reach me if you have any questions. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Allison, so nice. Yes, it's through Miami Life Center. The Zoom classes are through Miami Life Center. And actually right now, there's a special going on, 30 days for $30. That is also on the description of this video. There's a link on how to sign up. If you have trouble signing up because it can get a little bit complicated through MBO, just message me and I will like take you through the whole process if you want to sign up for those classes on Miami Life Center. Yeah, cool. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. All right, enjoy the rest of your Sunday. In Miami, it's really sunny and gorgeous, so I think I'm going to spend the day outside. Wherever you are, enjoy it, relax, take it easy. You did your yoga, so now you can just like chill. All right, bye.